someone who's seeking to do just that, Republican Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty. Senator, while the Democrats are still haggling over their multi-trillion-dollar waste of our money, instead of focusing on manufacturing centers back to the United States, why is this issue now beginning to resonate of Made in America?
Well, Laura, you did a wonderful job of laying out the rationale for what's hollowed out our manufacturing sector over the past couple of decades. And Laura, it's been policies on both the Republican and the Democrat side that have done it. But things changed in 2017. When President Trump came into office, we finally had somebody that was willing to stand up to communist China. And you know how they compete. They steal intellectual property, they heavily subsidize industries, they block and limit access to their own markets. They don't play by the same set of rules. When President Trump stepped up and made a real difference there, he also made a huge difference here domestically. He made the United States a much better place to invest and create jobs. I'm talking about deregulation, making us energy independent, as you pointed out so clearly. The Tax Act of 2017, that set off a boom here in America, a blue-collar boom that brought more and more jobs back from overseas. Companies began to de-risk their supply chains from China. It had begun before the pandemic hit us.
But well, Senator, what they're saying now is, oh, don't worry, because there are all these solar panels that are going to be made in the United States and wind turbines. Do you buy that?
Laura, not at all. We know where those wind turbines and solar panels are made. This is advantage right back to China. They kill our energy industry here, again, making us more vulnerable to countries that do not have our best interest at heart. China wins in this scenario.
Jen Psaki wants everyone to believe, Senator Hagerty, that he's totally in control of the whole supply chain issue. Watch.
We have a very aggressive and ambitious supply chain effort to address challenges we're seeing in the supply chains. We also were impacted, or supply chains around the world were impacted a great deal by Delta, and we're working in part to address and help many countries recover from COVID so that we can get supply chains up and running. I will note that we look at our relationship with China and all the components through a comprehensive package.
Oh.
Senator, what? First of all, what is that? How is that going to solve the problem when the cost of energy is going up and inflation is going up? How are we going to be able to do this with the supply chain?
Their policies are absolutely cutting the exact wrong way, just as you say. They make us less energy independent. They make us more vulnerable to countries like China for our energy source. They incentivize unemployment. They do everything they can to create more government dependency and give people less rationale to go back to work. That's why we have this employment shortage across the nation. Now they're talking about taxing American corporations and job creators to a point that no one will want to move their capital here. They're going to incentivize jobs moving yet again back overseas with the policies that they're putting forward.
But the IRS agents that they're going to hire and the bank surveillance they want to do, Senator, how's that going to work for us?
Feels a lot like communist China surveillance, doesn't it? They're going to insert themselves in every aspect of American lives. People don't want this. My constituents are letting me know very clearly they are deeply concerned about the overreach of this administration. You talk about the financial transactions and the oversight there. Think about what happened just this year under the Biden administration when the IRS released private taxpayer information to ProPublica. No one's paid the price for this, yet they're putting confidential taxpayer information out to attack their enemies. The public's very concerned about this, and the last thing we should be doing is giving them even more access to our private information.
Government is their growth industry, Senator. It always will be. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you. Great.